After decades, the Tupac Shakur murder trial finally has a date set. We are going to trial August 10th, 2026, this summer. And the man on trial for his murder is Duane Keefe D. Davis. And he just suffered a major courtroom loss. And I'm going to break it all down for you right here and just kind of give you an update as to what's going on with his case and why things have just taken so very long. I mean, if you are paying attention, you'll know that he actually got jail time while he is awaiting trial for a fight that occurred while he was in jail. It's so insane. But let's go through what happened this week, what a judge recently ruled on this past Tuesday regarding evidence. So in December of 2025, Duane Keefe D. Davis, I'll just call him Keefe D. or Davis, his lawyers submitted a suppression motion. They wanted a whole slew of evidence suppressed, including their client's own statements. And again, if you follow this case, you'll know that Keefe D. has made a lot of statements. He actually has boasted about being present for the shooting of Tupac. He has talked about publicly handing over a gun to the shooter. And I will again get into that. But it's insane also because he is the only one alive right now, besides Suge Knight, who was also wounded in the car that September of 1996 in Las Vegas. But let's get back to the suppression hearing. Or the suppression file that basically a judge just said, nope, everything that you guys said, sorry, it's lawful and everything will be considered for the trial. Everything that you did not want considered, yeah, that's going to be considered. So again, we're talking about several of his own statements. We're talking about evidence found in this 2023 search of his home that was conducted at night. So basically, his attorneys, Keefe D's attorneys, had said, well, he was living this quiet life in Las Vegas with his wife. He was working, a real job. He had totally gotten out of the gang space, the gangbanger space. So he was, just this grandfather and this cancer survivor, and the police just came in and mischaracterized him as this thug. And they also said, he cooperated with police, and his lawyers claim that police made these strategic omissions that painted him as this multiple convicted felon with this gun arrest. And his lawyers are saying, well, a lot of this was over 25 years ago, and the gun arrest, which was 8 years ago from today, I believe. 2016, that didn't result in a conviction. And he also made an agreement in 2008 in Los Angeles, actually, a proffer agreement that he has since claimed that was used against him. He basically said, okay, law enforcement broke this proffer agreement because a lot of information came out that was on this proffer agreement, including Sean Diddy Combs' name. On one court filing, apparently Diddy's name was mentioned over 70 times because Keefe D had said at one point, and by the way, Diddy has never been charged, and Keefe D claims he never got any money, but Keefe D had said that Diddy offered him and Eric Zip Martin when they were at some party, I think in whatever year it was, 95 or 96, he had offered them $1 million for Tupac's head, basically. And again, Diddy has never been charged. He has denied any involvement in this. And Keefe D has said, yeah, I never got paid. And also, I feel like a lot of this was about those medallions that they wore, and that's kind of what this retaliation shooting was about. There was an argument earlier that day at the MGM in Las Vegas involving Orlando Anderson, who was the alleged shooter, and also Keefe D's nephew. And this argument was between Tupac and his associates and Orlando Anderson, and it was definitely about these medallions. And so, there's just so many moving parts and so many things that are unknown, I guess, about the Tupac case, because it's just so old at this point, and it's not like we can easily get just surveillance footage and whatnot, from the streets, and it's so irritating. But it's kind of like, I think that we're all ready for someone to be convicted here, or for someone to take the fall. And Keefe D, I mean, he was a shot caller back in the day. If he said do something, these guys, they did something. So anyway, the judge did rule that the search warrant application by police was valid. Anything that they got during the search from his home, they're allowed to use. And again, anything that Keefe D said, they're allowed to use. Keefe D made a profit at one point from talking about this so much. He wrote a memoir that was published in 2019. And I'm about to play a clip for you from Vlad TV of him doing an interview talking about what happened in the car that night. So I'm trying to think if there's anything So he had said, Keefe D said that Eric Zip Martin supplied the gun that was used that night, and that he passed the gun to Orlando Anderson, and that's when Orlando Anderson opened fire. And again, on Tupac and Suge Knight. And again, Orlando and Eric Zip Martin, they have since passed away. So let me play this quickly for you, this clip. And it's just like, I cannot imagine what it's going to be like in court when he's sitting there, like, listening to his own words being played. It's going to be insane. And the trial, again, is August 10th. It's been pushed back so many times because of Keefe D's health, because of discovery issues, because of the fact that he was injured in this fight. I mean, it just goes on and on. But okay, here is what I want to play.
Coming from me going, got to the light. He was going to go drink and smoke some weed, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next?
And we just came, and shit. I ain't going to go into details like that, you know what I'm saying? But, you got it in the book. You done played it, everything else, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, in the book, you said that as you're driving up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a gun.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually see a gun?
No, shit. Once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car started shooting at Tupac and Suge.
Lane starts blasting. You say Suge looks over, he sees you.
Yeah.
He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting shot. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
of the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside their car?
I seen a bullet going Suge head. I thought he was dead.
So Orlando shot across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window, popped.
Okay.
Who was it?
They would drove on my side. I would pop them. You know what I'm saying? But they was on the other side.
Right.
I'm not gonna go into details on that one. Keep the streets on me. I ain't gonna go into detail on that.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and read
He does in his book. So.
Well.
So
let him buy the book then.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna read this passage. The shit was on. Tupac made an erratic move and began to reach down beneath his seat. It was the first and only time in my life that I could relate to the police command, keep your hands where I could see them. Instead, Pac pulled out a strap, and that's when the fireworks started. One of my guys from the backseat grabbed the Glock and started busting back. The first shot skinned Suge in the head, and I thought that motherfucker was dead. I had heard some stories, supposedly that Suge used Tupac as a shield when the bullets started flying, but that's some bullshit. Suge was already wounded, and he was the one that got touched. As the rounds continued flying, I ducked down so I wouldn't get hit.
Basically, yeah.
White Cadillac, arm came out the back seat.
Okay.
And started letting off.
What went through your head when you saw it?
I'm going to stop because, I want to just say it's also interesting because Keefe D, as a defense, right? He could have this defense here where he just could say, oh yeah, well, I just wanted to talk about this for the clout. I never actually, handed the gun. I was just there. And also, he doesn't even seem to know what he's saying. It's very inconsistent in terms of seeing Tupac actually have a gun or hold a gun. It seems like he kind of said whatever was convenient for him. He just told DJ Vlad, that he didn't see it, he was ducking. But in his book, he basically says, oh yeah, I saw him grab it. That's why we did this. That's why this happened, because it was basically we were protecting ourselves. So, I do feel like he will be able to use some kind of a defense, but it's going to be his own words. I feel like that really are the nail in his coffin. I would like to cover the Tupac murder trial. I really would. If there is a way I can get down to Vegas in August, I would love to. I would love to cover it for you all here on Los Angeles Magazine. But anyway, I hope you found this report helpful. If you followed the Tupac or Keefe D case, I will be back next week with more episodes of our daily podcast. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Los Angeles Magazine. I'm Lauren Conlin.